Hi everyone and welcome to my garden. So a few people asked to see a garden update because if you're new to my channel, I've been trying to transform what once was a very overgrown garden into a happy place that we can enjoy as a family. And I guess along the way I've become an enthusiastic gardening novice. So if you want to have a little tour and see how everything is towards the end of the summer, then keep watching. So I thought I would actually start from the back. We've got these steps up here and I'm just going to come down them now and show you this area. Now this area was sort of the last bit that I did and it needed a lot of work. It was very overgrown. So in our garden, as you'll see here, and this is how overgrown it is, just FYI, there's two of these and they're a lot bigger than my dog. This area here was just full of weeds. We have a lot of this that really took hold during lockdown and stuff, and I think it's been here for a very long time. It grows so quickly, and I believe it's one of like the oldest sort of plants in the world, from like a prehistoric perspective even. But this whole area was completely overgrown. That weed was growing over all the flagstones to the point that you could hardly see some of the flagstones, and I started weeding it probably a couple of months back now. And this does take a bit of upkeep, and that's one thing with gardening. You kind of got to enjoy it and you've got to be in for the ride because it's a long one and it's kind of never ending, because already you can see little bits sprouting up that I need to weed. But I've just added a few plants in, and I've got some lavender, a few little pots that I painted myself. This tub I actually found in the overgrowth of the garden, and it looked like it was older than me. It was like a dark grey colour, so I painted it with some garden tub paint and it's come out beautiful. I've got this one here that I painted. I bought really cheap pots, as you'll have seen in other update videos, and painted it a nice bright yellow. And I'm just all about colour in this garden. This is a plant that Daisy picked up from a school like fair for me, bless her. We sent them with some spends and she gave me this. It's just amazing. A few little bedding plants, another lavender here, another pot. This little planter we bought during lockdown from Wilco, who I've worked with in the past, but obviously this is purchased ourselves. It's held up really well, and this has some bedding plants in as well, but also this, which Stan bought back from preschool, which is really special to me because obviously he's finished now. And oh, hello bee. This is kind of like a little reminder, and I don't know how long it'll last, but I've even kept the stick that came with it that says his name on. So it's all really quite special to me. These light up and look like flickering flames. They're really cool, little solar ones there. We've got some of these beautiful things. And this is kind of the fun bit of the garden, in that I've made it almost a bit old school granny garden, and I'm very here for it. This lantern lights up and it's gorgeous at night. We have more bedding plants here, more of the flickering lights. I got one of these, and this bulb bit of the flower lights up in the middle of the night, but it just looks really cute. I absolutely love it. That's a mirror from Wilco. I worked with them and got one as part of my work, but then I went on to buy more because they then went into the sale later on in the summer, which I was so chuffed about because I love them. So this is it. It's like a little rockery, and I do like the rocks peeping out everywhere. I think it just gives it a bit of character. We do have some flowering plants around here. We had this one that had beautiful pink flowers. We had a peony that was down there, and one that came through up there that I wasn't even responsible for. They just were here. Got some old crates for a bit of texture and levels and stuff. I bought this at a charity shop. A little citronella candle. This is another pot that I painted. And then this was actually, we've had this years. I got two of them in the sale at a charity shop back when money was a bit tighter, and one of them broke not long after, but this one we kind of leave down here just if anyone wants to come and sit and chill. It's nice to read a book down here. It gets the sun very early in the morning, and then it's more shaded, which is quite nice to have those levels of the garden where you can find a bit of what you fancy, if you know what I mean. Stuff down here didn't really take that well. I think it's because it's predominantly quite shaded because of this boundary that we've got, which is great for privacy, but obviously not for plants. This weed, this is what I mean, they grow like wildfire, and it's not always easy to get to the root of the problem, if you know what I mean. But this clematis was thriving elsewhere in the garden. I moved it here and it's not very happy, so I don't know if I should dig that up and put it elsewhere. We've got this one though, very happy down here. Some of these are starting to bloom now, as you can see, and I like that. I think what I might do is get more of those hanging pots next year and decorate it that way with something that, you know, isn't too fussy about the sun maybe. These we have just left here for now because they are slowly disintegrating, which will in turn eventually make them easier to move. But because I'm constantly weeding, it just kind of made sense to keep them for now, and then we will probably transfer them into a skip or something like that. We've got a sleepy kitten down here who loves being down here. This is the little brook that flows through, and then this is up to the next level of the garden. So we've got a very established hydrangea here. This one that is close to the water is very, very pale, so some of these are dying now sadly, but they normally look this like very pale lilac or very pale pink colour, which is beautiful. I need to get a proper hedge trimmer in all honesty, but I just kind of do it by hand, so these will need doing again soon. But this is what I mean, it just takes so much work. We've got like grasses here and down here. I try and keep on top of the weeds, but I do let things grow a bit wild because I think it suits the garden. And then this is my pride and joy. This is my favourite spot, which I've included in past videos where it's been really, really overgrown, and this has taken probably the most work. So we've got like more plants here. This used to just be full of weeds. I've did this. So we've got like a chive, I think that's a hosta, loads of different plants. That's an oregano over there, that one there. So yeah, chive, hosta, oregano, a few bedding plants and stuff. We have a little chili plant here, so they are growing nicely. Got some of those teas soon, which I love. These are my herbs. You can tell that we like a lot of basil because that's the smallest at the moment, but it's still growing quite quickly. What I found with basil though is that it needs nice water and a lot of sunshine, and you've got to get to it before the bugs do, or the slugs. A mint, which is so happy that it started to flower, so I need to use some more of that. Rosemary, parsley, coriander has just never been too happy and probably needs more sun, and I've got another chive. Look at those beautiful flowers. This I got from Morrison's. It was outside my local Morrison's. I've worked with Morrison's in the past as well, but this I purchased myself. I've got a few from Morrison's dotted around because they're dead affordable, and when I go there I always end up coming back with a plant, much to Mark's dismay. This one has recently just flowered, so I need to sort of deadhead this, which I'll do later. We've got another one here that again recently just flowered, but they're all dying. It got so leggy and tall, so I don't know if I should cut this one back and see if it will grow a bit smaller like this one here. I've got these bits down here. Some bits a bit wild, as you can see, but I can't really access it, so I just kind of let that bit be. Got a bird table from when I worked with Wilco. These are my strawberries. The kids have picked off the edible ones so far, but would you believe when I got this, there was like 3 little plants that were probably about this big each, and they took ages to grow, but we are getting there now, and you can see there's some more strawberries coming through. There's a little one there. I had a dog when we were younger, my parents' dog, and he used to eat the strawberries before anybody else could get to them. So strawberry plants always remind me of Milo. This old bench that I painted myself, it's weathered a bit, but it's a very, very old bench anyway, and sometimes it will just lean when the cat's been sleeping on it because it's just knackered. More plants over here. And then this is my tomato plant. As you can see, I've got a few that are nearly ready to take off. It's got a huge collection just on this one branch for some reason. It looks like a bunch of grapes, but I have to keep on top of this one and water it a lot, otherwise it doesn't last very well. One of the things, I don't know if you can see the bee there, is that I've really, really tried to make this a bee-friendly garden, and do right by the environment with it and stuff, and plant loads of flowers that you know, will help with that. It's always been quite lush in terms of like plants and stuff, but I just love watching them, and I feel like we're so lucky now that we get to do that. So this area in the spring is all taken up mainly by these rose bushes, which you can see, which I've really had to tackle because both of them were very, very leggy, like super, super tall, and then would only grow like 2 roses. So I've been deadheading them as soon as I can. So this one will need to go soon, and then cutting them back. And now they've started to flower. You see there's 2 more on here, a little bit lower down because I would like them to be a bit lower. But these are like a beautiful coral pink colour. And then these are a softer pink, but this one is still very leggy. And I think it's because she tries to climb over this plant here, which I cut yesterday, but I forgot to. Ooh, what are you doing here? There's a spider. I forgot to come around this side because I got distracted by the kids, so I will cut that at some point today. But we've got loads of plants and stuff. My mum helped with a lot of these and planted this side, and then I planted that side as well. We were away. And there's like, I think that's called like lamb's ear or something like that. I just want to move this spider because I kind of don't want it in my clothes. Can you see him going? All the way up. Come on, mate. Go on. Go on there. That's it, and then you are safe. There he is. This is so soft, like when you stroke it, it feels like a lamb's, is it lamb's ear or something like that? But it's very beautiful, and we've got all sorts, and it's flowering now. So we've got thyme as well. We have another rosemary over here, and some of these will be established and stay, some of them will die off, but then the bluebells will come back through in the spring. The bluebells come through here as well, and they're underground, so we just kind of planted on top of the bulbs. The bulbs are very established and have been here for years and years, and bluebells come through all around the back, which is very, very pretty. This, we pulled all the flagstones up, put weeding membrane down, and then bought like basically the cheapest version of stones you could get from B&Q and filled in the gaps, and it's working out quite well. This rug is from Dunelm and was only £10. I'm leaving them out for now, but I think as the winter months come in, I'll probably roll them up and keep them in the garage, just to protect them a bit more. They are like outdoor rugs, but still. So this through here, and then there's this section which is Mark's barbecue section. We used to have our hot tub here from a previous collaboration. There are a few people that are like really cross that we don't use it at the moment, but I feel like with the way the energy crisis is at the moment, I feel like it's a sensible decision. It is actually down here. You see behind the chair, you can see it there. It's actually down there in storage and under like tarpaulin and stuff, because it's huge, and it's deflated. It's an inflatable one, and we're going to store it there until one day we would love to put it back up again. But at the moment we're saving for other things, and we've got to prioritise other things. So like we're going on holiday next week, or like we'd like to finish our living room off because that took a hit during the renovation. So we're just, I don't know, I like to think we're quite sensible really in that respect. Like we just try and focus on what needs doing, and one day I'm sure I'll be enjoying the hot tub. I mean, that's so lucky anyway. But this is another old bench, got pillows out while it's sunny. This is one of my favourite plants actually. It's such an unusual, sort of the way it grows just kind of makes me smile because it's all like messy and higgledy-piggledy, but it's beautiful. This is a broken bird bath that I found down there. So we used it to use it as a planter basically instead. Another pot I painted, one that the kids have painted. That jug I keep here, that was from a charity shop, but I used that to put tomato feed in actually. So that's that. This rug was also Dunelm for £10. Our barbecue, we have a Weber one, Mark's baby. He buys like wood chips to smoke with. He's got loads of equipment, he's obsessed with it. Another Wilco mirror, that's from when I did some work actually. I should probably like wipe that off and put something else on. Just a few bits from charity shops and stuff like that. And then we recently found that we have blackberries growing in our garden now. They're at the top near the steps as well, and they're also here. I might leave those a little bit longer, see if they get a bit bigger. But yeah, it's almost like now I'm showing love to the garden. It keeps kind of like rewarding me with little surprises like random peonies or blackberries, which is very exciting. But that's what it looks like from here. And this is kind of my section that I try and make pretty and I really care for. Oh, look at them. Can you see them? They're massive. I'll have to try and come back and pick those in a bit, but can you see? There's some big ones there. I'll come back for them. But then there's this section which you can see the kids are in the house at the moment watching telly, and we have the bifolds open because even though the storm's coming today, it's the day after the second heat wave we've had. It's still really muggy, but obviously I have the typical washing line. It's an extendable one, you can see up there, and it's got a double if you need a double. We've got Bill's basketball hoop. I redid all of this area. We used to have this here and it's attached to the ground with stakes and stuff, but since we had the work done to the house we couldn't see the kids on it properly from being inside, so I pulled up all the stakes, repositioned it, which took me ages, and then hammered the stakes back down. We bought some more play bark, got Stan's trampoline, an old baby slide, some basketballs and balls, a few planters to jazz it up a bit, and the old sandpit which we've had for years and years now. We used to have a Wendy house here which was all completely cracked, leaking and full of spiders, so we got rid of that. And we hoped to at one point put grass here and bring the garden across this way, and then put decking here to line up with the garage, so we won't lose space with the garden so much. We'd actually have more grass, but then we can have a decking space that maybe one day we could put a hot tub on there, or we can like put some tables and chairs, because if you've noticed we don't have like outdoor seating really. The grass is a bit of a shambles at the moment. It looks worse than normal because I actually dug it up, because you see these patches here, they're new. The dogs pee. I don't know why it's so bad, but it just burns the grass, and with all the hot weather we've been having it's gotten worse. But as you can see, I've got some seedlings now growing back, and this is new grass, and I've got a particular type that was meant to be more hard wearing with dogs and kids, and I've laid it out over here to show you, just in case you're like me and a bit overly determined. But I bought it from the grass people. I only bought a 2 kilogram bag because that's all I needed, and I got the dog and child friendly version, and what I was doing as well was putting some of this in a watering can with one of these nozzles. Now it took me a long time because I don't have one of those hose things with the adapter thing in it, but I think it was worth it because it's really started to grow back and the grass looks very healthy. So that's just if you wanted to know. Hopefully it'll get better and better as time goes on. Maybe it won't, but I've tried. This sign I've had since I moved here, and I don't know, it just kind of reminds me because we've done so much work to this house and the garden over the years, and it's taken years and years. It really has. But I like that I've still got that. I've got some more plants here. This is the pot that Stan's flower originally came in, and I kept that out here for now because it makes me smile. Speaking of Stan, I have a hibiscus which is Lady Stanley, which I need to plant soon. And then I've got this climbing rose, and then these curtain lights, they're solar ones, and they look so pretty at night. So if I stand back, I'll try and include a nighttime clip for you, but they're gorgeous and they just light up, you know, when it gets dark enough. And then we've got the door into the garage, my laundry hanger thing. I've got laundry on the line. The dogs, I don't know what the dog's doing, sniffing some stuff. And we have a football net because, you know, kids and stuff. So it's not the trendiest or most modern garden, I'll be the first to admit that, I know, but it's ours and we're so lucky to have the space. And I've been working so hard on it, and I hope that you like this tour really. Oh, I forgot to show you my sunflower. It started off with that one there, which is dying a little bit, but it's so tall. It is so tall. It's nearly the same height as our first, like, our ground floor, like, ceiling, if you know what I mean. And we have more plants down here as well, and hose and down there and everything. And yeah, that is my garden, and I hope you enjoyed it.